I am in Switzerland currently, and I'm recording some videos. I had a day off from my day offs today to catch up and get some work done, and so I'm getting some work done, getting some videos done, answering some questions, answering some emails. I'm going to answer a business-related email about transcriptions. For those of you that are interested. And transcriptions are something that you should be interested in, because if you're creating some kind of a work, you might want to have that work in a written format. If you're creating an audio or video work, you might want to have that translated into different languages, so transcriptions are pretty important. Some of my videos have transcriptions, some of them don't. If you notice, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos, typically the ones that are those high quality ones that I shoot outside that everyone thinks is a green screen, those ones usually have transcriptions. So I got this email and it says, "Hey John, I want to say that I've read or heard in your podcast in the past that you used some contractors on UpWork or Fiverr to transcribe your videos." By the way, I'm going to be talking about more than just transcriptions, but how to hire people here. I've had some underwhelming experiences with contractors lately doing a pretty bad job, as the transcriptions lack punctuation and therefore lose their tone or inflection. I paid 3 contractors so far to transcribe the same 11-minute video. I paid them $10, $20, and $20. So just to think this through, right? I always like to figure out the numbers here. So if you said he paid 3 contractors for 11-minute video, let's say 10-minute video, so basically $1 a minute or $2 a minute, right? And so I think the going rate on, like, let's look up rev.com. I think it's like $2 a minute. Let me see. This is, you can see where I'm going to go with this. So anyway, he says, they all turned out badly. Do you have a recommendation on price or way to vet them better? Or is this just a normal loss in your books in terms of finding a good contractor? As always, thanks for the help and advice. So, okay, let's see where to start on this. So the first place that we should go with this is to talk about hiring people and, you know, the cost, the investment involved in making good hiring decisions. So hiring someone is a huge investment, right? This is one of the reasons why some of you wonder, you're like, why is it so hard to get a job, John? You know, and you whine, and you wonder why companies are so picky. When you're like, oh, I can program. I don't understand why they're making me jump through these hoops. I don't understand why they're making me do whiteboard coding interviews. Check out the video on that. I don't understand any of this, John. And their answer is because it's expensive to hire badly, and it's a big investment. And just like the gentleman that emailed me said that he hired 3 transcriptionists and they all biffed the job. He paid one of them $1 a minute, 2 of them $2 a minute. They all messed up the punctuation and they sucked, okay? And he's frustrated by that. He feels like he lost money on that. So he lost, what's that, 50 bucks. That's not losing money. That's learning. That's experience. That's an investment, right? I mean, and this is what you have to think about when you're an entrepreneur, when you're hiring people to do jobs, is you got to think about what is the short-term and the long-term investment, right? And so if you're going to hire someone and you're going to want them to stick around for a long time, like I'll give you a perfect example. My awesome video editor, Rodrigo, who's editing this video, who's edited this video right now. This dude is awesome. He's awesome, right? He's a great guy. He's a hard worker. He's so dependable, but he's a diamond in the rough, right? I mean, I paid a lot of people with test jobs on UpWork before I found Rodrigo, someone who I could rely on, who does a great job and is conscientious about the work and is someone who I can trust. So I paid a lot of money in order to find Rodrigo, right? That was the plan. I know Rodrigo is probably like, yes. But no, it's true, you know, and what I said about Rodrigo is true as well. But the point is, it's that's what you're trying. That's what you're going for, right? You're not going for getting the job done. You're paying for finding the person, right? These are the things, right? I did some video on mommy skills. I think you can you can check this out. Where I was telling, it's on Entreprogrammers, and I was telling Chuck, one of the entrepreneurs, one of the guys on this podcast that we do, I told him, you got to fire people that don't have the mommy skills. Mommy skills are the things that your mommy should have taught you, right? I'm not here to teach you the things. Like, if you need to learn some technical skill, if you need some coaching and whatnot, that's fine. You can learn that on the job. We can do that. But if you can't be punctual, if you can't be dependable, if you can't be reliable, if you can't communicate, those are mommy skills, right? And so what you want to do is you want to find someone, the most valuable person that you're going to find, right? The most valuable thing you can do for your company is to hire good people, is to find good people. The most valuable thing you can do for your team, if you don't have, quote, a company, is to find good resources, good people. That's what makes a good company, that makes a good team. That's what's going to make you successful and valuable as an entrepreneur. Because as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you can only do so much yourself. You need to have good people behind you that that's what's going to multiply the effort that you put in, right? And if you have bad people, it's actually going to take away from it. The more time that you put in, the more time it's going to cost you, right? The more money you pay these people, the more money it's going to cost you. So it's very critical that you find the right person. So when you look at this idea of a transcriptionist, don't think of it as you're wasting this money, you're throwing away this money. Anytime you're hiring someone for a job, don't think of it in those terms, right? That money that you're investing in finding the right person, okay, that is money, some of the best money that you're going to invest possibly in your company or your business or your idea or your team, okay, because you're going to be vetting people out, and the more crappy people you find, that's good, because that means that you know what you're looking for. And when you find that great person, right, just like, again, I don't mean to like inflate Rodrigo's ego too much here, but you know, when it was clear that he was the one to hire, because he was so much better than the other people, so much better at communicating, so much better at getting the job done, so much better at doing the editing and doing the work, right? And that's what you really want to find, right? And so it's totally worth doing. So put forth the effort, pay the money, right, in order to find this person that's going to be able to do this job for you. And maybe it's going to mean that you're going to have to go through 10 or 15 transcriptionists in order to find that. What you also should be learning here is how to filter it better, right? If you're constantly seeing, I mean, you don't need to hire someone to transcribe. I mean, this is pretty cheap though, right? An 11-minute video is a good test, right? But you can put some pre-qualifications into the job description in UpWork, and you can filter out people. You can ask them questions and say, you know, what do you think is most important in doing a transcription, right? How important is punctuation to you in doing your transcriptions? How good are you? You know, you can figure out ways to create filters so that the people that apply for the next round, that you can filter them out immediately before even hiring them, right? So think about this process, right? This is a system. Everything's a system. What a lot of people want to do, what a lot of entrepreneurs want to do, what I want to do when I'm trying to hire for a job is I just want someone, right? I just want someone to start doing the work. I don't want to go through this process, this long, drawn out process. But in the past where I've hired people on the spot like that, because I just need someone to do this work, and this person has the qualifications and they can do the job, right? Like so many of you would like the world to work like that, it's always blown up in my face, almost always. But when I've taken the time and I've spent the effort, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, finding the right person, finding the right fit, then I've had a long-term resource that has worked for me. So for example, my transcriptionist, she's awesome, right? She does an awesome job. She's been working with me for, gosh, like over 2 years, probably 3 years now. And she's so super dependable and reliable, always gets the transcriptions done on time and does a great job at it, right? So no, I'm not going to give you mine, but anyway, that's what you want to think about. So as far as transcription as well, to get specific to this, check out rev.com. That might be a good solution for you. If you have enough transcription work and you want to hire your own transcriptionist off of UpWork, be prepared to hire 10 people and to hire one out of those 10, right? So 10 people on an 11-minute job. Let's say that each one costs you $20, right? So that's going to cost you $200 to find a transcriptionist. Totally worth it. If you think about how much you're going to end up paying, right? I mean, if you're doing hundreds of minutes of video per week, for example, that you need transcribed or audio, it probably makes sense to invest $200, $300, maybe $500 in finding someone that's going to do a good job at that, rather than you being frustrated every week by someone doing a shitty job, or you having to go back and fix things and whatnot. So think of it in those terms of an investment, and that's going to benefit you best. All right. I hope you found that useful. Okay. And if you did, make sure you click that subscribe button below. If you haven't already, make sure you click the bell so you don't miss any of the videos I'm doing. I'm going to be doing some videos in some pretty interesting scenery. If you haven't checked out the videos already on my European tour 2017, I'm going to be going to Italy next after here. So make sure you click that bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.